They made me sign something that I couldn't say anything for a whole year or so to say with this influencer, and I want to tell you guys my failures because all the people out there on the internet, especially if you're another full-time filmmaker, content creator, you make it seem like it's always, pretty flowers and sprinkles. But the truth is, that's not always the case, which is why I'm going to tell you guys exactly how I lost my $70,000 client and I eventually got fired. So if you don't know who I am yet, my name is Peter from Broke Visionary Collective, where I help you become a better content creator. And I've been making videos now for officially since 2015. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 years now. And if you start when I officially made YouTube videos, that was in 2012. So 10 years of content creation. 7 years of getting paid as a video editor, videographer, content creator, and I started just from my own basement, figuring out how to edit, how to shoot, what kind of camera gear do I need, and can I use this little Nikon D5200 and can I make money from that? And fast forward, I was able to do that and I still am a full-time videographer, video editor, and I don't just talk the talk, I walk the walk. I still do this. I still have a full-time paying client job gig. And how many of you guys know actually YouTubers that actually make content for themselves, but at the same time still have a full-time gig making content for other people? Because I am still a full-time videographer and content creator. When you watch a lot of YouTubers and content creators, you don't really think that, oh, it's just them that's editing. No. It's actually people like me that are working for these bigger influencers so they can scale their time and make content. And they usually have a team of, 3 to 4 to even 10 people helping them create the content. So exactly how much I was getting paid, well, I wanted to be transparent and I started off as a $60K salary. I was essentially brought on as a contractor, but then I eventually opted to become an employee. The government has you in case something goes wrong, which I'll talk about a little later. So it roughly equates to $5,000 to $6,000 a month. All that for just one influencer, one client, one job. That's pretty darn good. On top of that, this was before the pandemic hit, and this was when work from home was still a very new thing. Going into fast forwarding a year and a half, client loved the work, everything was going super well and great until the pandemic hit. And you would think from a work from home job, no issues, but I had issues. I had health issues. And I'm not going to disclose too much of the nitty gritty, but I ended up getting really sick. So I told this influencer, this client of mine who I worked really hard for a year and a half, was that, hey, I'm not feeling well. I need a little bit of time off. Is that okay? And they're like, okay, Peter, what we're going to do is get me a doctor's note. And then you're going to, help me find a replacement for you just for a little bit. I'm like, yeah, okay, no big deal. So I help them get a referral so someone can just help me help this client. And then what they did on top of that was they also put out a casting call for all video editors so they can, see who it is out there that can help me. And this was all before, mind you, that I was guaranteed a raise because I was with this influencer for so long and I was doing a good job in their eyes. And then I got sick. And that's when everything pretty much flew out the window. And this person ended up scoping out other clientele. And what they ended up doing was that because of the pandemic, I couldn't necessarily go there and film. So they ended up filming themselves and sending me the footage to edit. And because of that, they were able to find a remote video editor and agency, right? Not even through me, right? Not even through the person I referred to, but through an agency. So she would film and send that to that agency. And what ended up happening, literally 2 weeks later, while I was still sick and in the hospital, had a meeting with the influencer, and they were like, okay, Peter, I hate to do this to you, but we're gonna have to let you go because the position itself is no longer a position. And that kind of struck me by the side of the face because throughout my entire, even working career, let alone video editing career, I have never been fired or let go. Technically, this isn't really a firing, it's more of a dissolution. But at the same time, I did not see it coming. I had 100% trust and faith with this client that they had my back. But if you know anything about business, is that no one really has your back except for you, especially if you are brought on as a contractor, as a freelancer. And I ended up in more doctor's care, more hospitals, because I needed to take care of myself, right? I needed to put this to the side and be like, okay, I'm not taking anything personal. They made me sign something that I couldn't say anything for a whole year or so to say with this influencer. But even to this day, I'm not petty, right? I'm not gonna like out this person. But that was something that was pretty shitty that happened to me, an experienced content creator for YouTubers and editors for, bigger people. I made videos for people who have 1 million subscribers. But this was a client that, didn't treat me the way that I expected to be treated. And I want to tell that story to you guys because anything can happen. And as a content creator, I know how hard it is, to put yourself out there. I know how hard it is to, invest in gear. I know how hard it is to, even get your foot in the door. And sometimes where you're in your part in your career where it's like, do I take this gig because it pays well? Or am I taking this gig because I don't have any other option? And in my mind, I'm like, if I don't take this gig, then I'm just gonna not be able to do videos anymore. And that's something that I want to start creating an open dialogue about, is that you can pick and choose your clients. You can pick whether or not you want to be a freelancer. You can pick whether or not you want to work in a 9 to 5 as a video editing gig in comparison to just being a freelancer. You need some business chops. But that was my little rant and story time about how even people like me aren't always, positive all the time. You have challenges, you have obstacles, and it's not as always green as it is as you think it is. So, which is why, I made this full-fledged course where I talk about how you get your first $1,000 as a video editor, a videographer, even if you have no experience. I walk you through the things that I wish I knew. Like this story, there's a lot of the things where it's like, if I knew I saw this coming, then I would have prepared more like this. There are things where it's like, I wish I didn't over-index myself on this one client and I spread myself and have, multiple other projects going on. Even potentially having a YouTube channel that generates me revenue so that I don't always have to rely on one client for an income stream. But these are things as a videographer, a video editor that no one really talks about. So I literally walk you through that in that course. That is an investment, but it will get you prepared and help you understand what it actually takes to get a video editing job. And if you do get that job, you won't get screwed over. But in the next video, I'm going to tell you exactly how you get that video editing job, what jobs you should ignore, which ones you should, stand clear of, and how you actually get your foot in the door. Because even though I got let go or fired from that video editing gig, I was able to find another client within, a month's time, as well as I was able to get another full-time video editing videographer gig. But that's my little rant. My name is Peter. We're watching Broke Vision Collective, where we also know nothing, but you can always create something. And I want to start creating content where it's like, I'm there for you, me, Peter, as the content creator as I am. I'm not about having the most fancy gear. I'm not about like, does this matter or gear matter? Like, yes, it matters to a certain extent, but at the end of the day, it's all about how am I reaching you? Whoever's watching this, how am I connecting to you? How can I help you? And how ultimately, why are you watching, right? Are you having some sort of, something you're stuck in and you're watching this to solve that problem or have aspirations to solve whatever it is you're trying to solve? Or you're just watching a random dude on YouTube for the fact that you're watching a random dude on YouTube, You can't go wrong either way, but enough yapping. See y'all in the next one. Like this video. More to come. Deuces.